Shalom, my brothers and sisters. Shalom. And welcome to Less Than 10 Minutes, Words to Yashar'al, Nation of Believers. My name is Symmanayah, and if you're tuning in for the first time, Yashar'al, Nation of Believers, of whom I speak, I am referring to those who seek to worship and obey Almighty Yahuah, those who accept Yahusha as Mashyach, as Messiah. These are my brothers. These are my sisters. This is my family. In this segment of less than 10 minutes, I want to talk about something that I've spoken on once before, but I was compelled to present more or revisit the topic. As it stands, let me begin. Today is August 8th, 2013. August 7th, 2013. August 7th, 2013. In this segment, I talk about when people throw out the words, show me the scriptures, or show me the script, prove it to me, or they state, I can prove it. Erroneous expectations exist, my brothers and sisters. The Spirit of Yahusha reveals, this is discernment. The Almighty Yahuah proves all things. When will we acknowledge that we should serve a living Elohim, Yahuah? With that stated, let us continue on and let's dive into this. If we substitute truth for our own abilities, we war against the blueprint of the Most High and fight the living instructions and guidance of the Spirit of Yahusha. There are many who do this unaware. It would be wise for those who consider themselves worshippers of Almighty Yahuah to remember He is first and last. He is Aleph Tau, the beginning and the end. Could this possibly mean all righteousness begins and ends with the Almighty Father Yahuah? It is stated in Scripture that the Most High Father dwells in us. Scriptures also state that His words will perform and not return to Him empty and or void. One who searches the Scriptures will also come to know that the Almighty Father proves our hearts. Continuing on. If we diligently examine the Scriptures, we will see that the Most High Father sent His set-apart Spirit in His Son's name, Yahusha Our Mashyach, our Messiah. Additionally, Scriptures state that the letter kills and it is the Spirit that makes alive. Also keep in mind that the Scriptures mention how the Almighty Father will make the wise of this world foolish. While reading and becoming familiar with Scriptures is encouraged, and it's good to know where a person is getting their thoughts and understanding. But it's a good thing to be aware. It would be wise for us to be aware that we should grow to depend on the Spirit of Yahusha to make clear and alive the true message with righteous understanding. So many of us are trying to interpret and use our own academic powers, our own self-abilities. It's time, my brothers and sisters. If we say we serve a living Elohim, let us learn to worship and obey and allow His Spirit to guide us in presenting all things and proving all things that are righteous. I believe, my brothers and sisters, that this relationship can be more alive the more we begin to realize all credit, all dependence should be on the Most High to guide us. I'll present some scriptures, however. It is important to pray for understanding and depend on the Spirit of Yahusha to make clear, to make alive all that is written. But just because one can write in or read, it does not give us control over what is alive. In other words, my brothers and sisters, we cannot force a living message, nor do we have the power ourselves in our own right to control living messages. It is by the power and might of Almighty Yahuah that life-giving things, including messages, are made clear and successful. In other words, my brothers and sisters, when it comes to someone showing us the Scriptures, let us depend on the Spirit of Yahusha to make them alive so we understand. Man has tampered with scriptures, tampered with written text in so many ways. There's so much subjectivity, so much pagan infection. But the spirit of the righteous has always and will always be the same. So let us quit thinking that we can prove it. Yes, a brother shared one time where it says in scripture, the translation, that Paul proved this or this person proved. Don't stop there. Where did Paul get it from? Where did Shaul get it from? The proof, the true proof. Stop at the seed, for in the seed we discover the purpose. And the purpose came from he who is Aleph Tau. I'm just saying, my brothers and sisters, we need to quit thinking when we can demand someone to prove something, or quit thinking we can prove it. It presents erroneous expectations. It causes one to think that they actually, in their own self, can prove it. No, let us be guided by the Spirit of Yahusha, and let us speak with the boldness of the righteousness of the Father. Revelation 1:8 reads as follows: I am the Aleph and the Tau, beginning and end, says Yahuwah, who is and who was and who is to come, Almighty. Revelations 22:13. I am the Aleph and the Tau, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. 2 Corinthians 6:16 reads, and what union has the dwelling place of Elohim with idols? For you are a dwelling place of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, I shall dwell in them and walk among them, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. How many of you are familiar with the verse that talks about having this treasure in earthen vessels? Ephesians 3:17 reads that the Messiah might dwell in your hearts through belief, having become rooted and grounded in love. Isaiah 55:11. So it is my word that goes forth from my mouth, and it does not return to me empty, but shall do what I please, and shall certainly accomplish what I sent it for. And you may have heard me mention this over and over and over again. For so many of us fail to realize that righteousness is the words of the Most High. And if it's coming through us, by Him, through Him, then know that it will perform all that it is designed to do. John 14:26 reads, but the Helper, the set-apart Spirit, whom the Father shall send in my name, He shall teach you all and remind you all that I've said to you. This is the MessiYah talking, my brothers and sisters. Beware, there are many who seek to promote that learning Hebrew is the only way one can receive the living message from the Most High Father's Scripture. Beware of so-called Hebrew experts who fail to inform you that most of Hebrew words and terms that they present have multiple meanings, definitions, and many have been interpreted subjectively and erroneously. I have witnessed people stating that the only way to get to the truth is by knowing the original Hebrew language. I submit to you that that language has been hid from us. Yes, we see modern, ancient, paleo, all these different types of Hebrew, but the very original Hebrew language was pictures and symbols to promote a function that related to us worshiping, increasing in worship, and obeying the Most High. I submit to you some more scriptures, and for time's sake I'll just quote the scriptures in terms of where to read them. 2 Corinthians 3:6, 2 Timothy 3:16 and 17, John 5:39, Proverbs 3:7, and 1 Corinthians 3:19. My brothers and sisters, reflect on these verses. Pray on these matters. Do not think of yourself as something that you're not. Be encouraged and trust that we serve a living Elohim, Almighty Yahuah, and that He sent the Spirit of Yahusha to teach us and bring all things to remembrance. It will be wise to grow in true worship and obedience to the Almighty Father. Pray. Pray some more and study. Seek to discern and understand what is true and righteous. Let us learn when to be patient and watch the phenomenal power of the living Word prove all things. Until next time, my family, until next time, brothers and sisters, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom.